Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Cabin Crew Simulator here in Roblox. So today, we've got something really interesting to talk about. Now today, I want to talk about something that could come in the future, a potential update known as passenger mode. Now you may be thinking, Seniac, what are you talking about right now? Where this potential update could literally allow you to become a passenger on the flight. What does it mean? What does it entail? What is the point of it? Who came up with this idea? Well, it was not me, guys. I'm going to show you in just a moment. I was scrolling through the Cabin Crew Simulator's Discord. Low-key join mine, a link in the description. And I was going through the suggestions tab, and I came across a suggestion of somebody requesting passenger mode. And this suggestion has over 2,000 thumbs up. And it literally said passenger mode. And that's what got my attention. It's from your boy, Captain Andy. And he goes into a whole paragraph. He also has another edited paragraph that completely talks about it. And when I seen this, I was instantly hooked. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is Cabin Crew Simulator. Keyword, simulating cabin crew. This has got nothing to do with being a passenger. Seniac, this is the worst idea in the whole entire world. Just listen, okay? Hear me out on this one. Now, obviously, their idea is to take it to major update, take the game to a whole new level. I get it. But basically, right, the whole gist of it is people who are passengers don't get money after flights. They can tip the owner, they can rate the flight, blah, 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 blah. But the gist of it is, right, you could be a passenger on the plane. So just like how somebody can invite you to become a worker on the plane, wouldn't it be cool if they can invite you to be a passenger on the plane? Now, just hear me out on this one, okay? I really need you to hear me out on this one, okay? Now, imagine, you're in the game, you're myself right now, I've got tons of money, and maybe I don't want to work on a flight, maybe I want to chill out, maybe I want to go to, like, New York or Santorini, but I don't want to fly there. I could see on the board right now that someone's created a flight, and I could pay, I don't know, 500 big ones to buy a ticket or pay 1,000 big ones to go into first class on the person's flight. They get the money, I pay it, it comes out of my account and it goes on to them. You see where this is going? And then what I've got to do is then as a passenger walk all the way down here. I could go through security if I wanted to. I could walk around pretending I got my suitcase. Actually, we do have suitcases, which will kind of give it more of a reason to why we utilize the suitcases. You know what I mean? Suitcase. Yay. Suitcase is running around security right now as a passenger because just like all the other AI passengers, I need to board the plane. I could place my bag on here right now and go through the scanner. I can go through the body scanner right now and make sure that I'm all okay. Not carrying any illegal items. And right now, I'm doing everything a passenger should. You can see the flights that are being created. And then we just run to the gate to where we are getting on the plane. How cool would that be? But the real fun begins when you actually get on the plane. So before we go into the plane and discover what the potential possibilities could be as being a passenger, let's just go through more of your boy Captain Andy's idea because this is pretty much where it all stems from. So he says people who are passengers don't get any money on the flights. Understandable, you are the passenger, you pay to go on the plane. They say that you can also tip the owner of the flight, so if they did a really good job, maybe you throw a little bit extra money their way. That could be a pretty cool idea as well. And then you can also rate the flight once it's done. That's interesting. That kind of gathers like from the, like theme park tycoon in Roblox where you can rate people's parks. That's pretty cool. They can choose a seat in the plane. They can buy business first class with Skybucks. And obviously the better the class, the more you have to pay. That would be pretty cool, right? That would be pretty cool. And I do say, give you an example, business 100, first 250. They have to get food plus go to the toilet. That's really a good idea as well. And they say, so yes, it would be a really good experience for people and the game would be more fun plus more RP stuff. That does open the doors for role-playing in the game. That does take it to a whole different level. So obviously we're going to first talk about this is not a flight simulator. It is not a passenger simulator. It's a cabin crew simulator game. We get that. We get it. We get it. But could you just imagine for just 1 minute the fun of being a passenger? That would be pretty cool. Now, before we go and check the rest of the stuff out, what you could do as a passenger, what are the benefits from the person who creates the flight and invites people onto it who are passengers? They say here, people who started the flight, they will get extra money, obviously because someone has to buy a ticket and maybe get the tip if so. More ratings, which I'm not quite sure how that works unless there was a separate rating altogether. Who would get the money if the person buys first class? Well, the person, yeah, they get the money, blah, 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 blah. But they get, this is what really interests me as well, more popular if high ratings. We could have a whole new leaderboard section where there is airlines or whatever rated based on the passengers, real passengers, not in-game passengers, player passengers, interactions and thoughts on it. So if you ever played shipping lanes where you have the leaderboard for the companies, Cabin Crew could kind of implement it. That would be pretty cool. So right now, I've currently created a flight just so I can get onto my own flight. Oh, I didn't put my bag in the conveyor. Which way am I boarding from, by the way? I'm boarding from gate 4. I'm this way. So I've created my own flight. Passengers are now getting on board just so I can kind of simulate what it would be like to be a passenger. So you got your suitcase right now, and this is how it kind of would work if it was a feature. You wait for your kind of class to be called. So if you were like first class, you can then walk on with your suitcase, and then it will indicate to you where your seat is. So you'll walk in, you'll get greeted, and it'll be an indicator saying that this is my seat here. So what I've got to do, I've got to put my suitcase in the overhead locker, which I could do, and then I could then press E to sit in my seat, and then I'm sitting down. And because I'm a passenger, maybe I can interact with the screen. I can press the button start here. And first class get the ability to have drinks. So you'll get a little menu pop up and it will say, what drink would you like to request? And I can like select water. And this is where I just then sit. Either wait for AI to give me a water or wait for the owner of the plane to give me a water. Or if they've invited people to work on their plane, for them to give me a water. It just adds a whole new level of interaction. I could literally be the passenger, which is pretty cool. So you just kind of sit here and then you wait for the rest of the plane to get on. And then you have stuff like it'll tell you that you need to put your seatbelt on. You need to put your seat in the upright position. You need to put your tray table away. If you don't, the AI will come over and tell you off. That would be hilarious as well. So you've got to literally do everything as a passenger. So you may be wondering, well, what else could we do on the flight? There's many, many things. But how would it work? Now, they do say in the settings over here that there'll be an invite or a requesting button in the settings. Same how like you kind of like get the invite for being a multiplayer to work on the plane. No limit on planes. That's crazy. So you can have the whole server on your plane with you. No jump buttons when takeoff or landing. Yes, it does make sense. So when you take off, players can't jump out their seats. We get that. Same way it kind of works with being a worker. Now, because of that post, it normally leads on to other people wanting the same thing in the game, which I find hilarious. But many people have requested this. There's other posts, and then people have their own ideas from it. And there's another one here from Kurgor as well. And they've got a whole list of stuff here set out. They've even got set up their own little thingy. So in their version, you could join the game to be cabin crew, or you could be a passenger. That's also an interesting one as well, but I don't think they should go down that road. It should be treated the same way how you invite workers onto a plane. You just invite them as a passenger, maybe. But I want to go through this as well. Now, we're going to wait until we've got our plane completely boarded, and then we're ready to fly and then send everybody off into a direction. So I'm going to quickly close the doors, because now we need to get into the air. We need to get into the air to see what else you could do as a passenger in passenger mode. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to completely skip the taxiway and wait for our AI to complete all of this. And then we should be able to take off, which is going to be really, really interesting. It is going to be really interesting because all the fun begins as a passenger once the plane is in the air. So while we wait, let's check out Kurgor's suggestions. It says here, how do I decide what class I will be in? They said it'll be completely random, but I think you should be able to buy a ticket for whatever class. And obviously, the more you pay, you know, the first class in business will be higher than economy, you get it? So the more you pay, the better it is. And I think then you just randomly assigned a seat on the plane in that section of the plane. That's what I feel like it should be work. They also say you should own a Game Pass in which seat you're exactly. I don't think they need to add a Game Pass. I think, you know, it is fine as it is. And it says here, what should you do when you're boarding as a passenger? You know, 4 options: unfasten the seatbelt, table open, upright position, none. So yeah, pretty much like I said, when you're waiting, you can put on your seatbelt, tray table, and if you don't do them all, you'll get told off by the AI. And if you don't complete it within like so many seconds, the AI does it for you. So it's a way to stop people kind of time wasting and delaying the plane. It does sound pretty good. It does sound pretty good. But like I said, the fun begins when you're in the air. So now the plane is in the air. As a passenger, you would now be sitting down, and they're going around doing food and drink. So you could then request what drink you want, what food you want, and then they'll come and serve it. And then maybe once you've eaten, you have the ability then to get up and walk around, or maybe you can walk around anyway, and then they'll just kind of deliver the food to where you're sitting. And you can then walk around, you can explore, you could go to the bathroom, which on this plane, the bathroom's all the way over here, which is pretty good. You can kind of use it as if you were like a normal passenger and all that kind of jazz. You can, and I know in the new update they're doing like the window stuff as well, so you can be able to open and close that. You could change on the screen what you're watching, so you can pretty much do all the basic and normal passenger interactions that normally come with the AI passengers on the game. But this is the fun. This is the fun. Now, I think this should be the only Game Pass in this, is the ability, right, to be an annoying passenger. Basically, the Game Pass will be called Disruptive Passenger, okay? And basically what that means is you have the ability to be annoying. You could refuse, if you've got the Game Pass, to put on your seatbelt, which means that I have to then like tape you to the finger like a disruptive passenger. You could get up and then you run and they've got to chase you. You could bring your own pet onto the game and let it loose and they've got to go and carry it. Bring on your own baby and make it cry all the time to really, really annoy the flight attendants. So all the little kind of stuff that normally happens on the flight that's kind of annoying. Disruptive passengers, pets you've got to go chase, babies crying. As a passenger with the Game Pass, you could trigger that just to annoy people. And it would be pretty fun, right? It would be pretty fun. And it's part of the kind of the lure into being a passenger. You can just annoy other plane operators. Like there's a baby crying now. Let me find it. There we go. So you can literally bring your own baby on and just keep making it cry just to annoy the flight attendants, which would be funny. I feel like it would be absolutely hilarious. And then when the plane comes to land, obviously then when you got to put your seatbelt on, all that kind of stuff, refuse. And that means then they have to then chase you down, you know, tie you to the chair like how you do normal distributed passengers. It is pretty cool. And the same thing applies when emergency happens as well. So if an emergency does get triggered, you've got to put on your like life vest or get in the brace position or your depressurization mask. Again, if you don't put it on, 1, you're going to die. 2, if you don't put it on, the AI or the people have to come over and force you to do it. And then you also have to evacuate and then get to a certain destination while you're evacuating. There is so much that could be done as a passenger on this. But we always have to remember, this is a cabin crew simulator game, not a passenger simulator game. Now, it kind of goes both ways. People either like it or they hate it. And Winter here is like, hey, want to know something? CSS Cabin Crew Simulator is a better game where you're a cabin crew. Cabin crew definition: the members of an aircraft who attend to passengers. We get it. We kind of get it. And it does technically say in the description to create your own airline, design the aircraft, look at blah, 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 blah. Friendly flight attendants and shit, blah, blah, blah. We get it. We know the game is all about being a flight attendant. Like, as fun as it is when people make up these little ideas and little updates that you could add in, some people go to the certain extent to photoshopping crazy, crazy images to tell people, hey, this is a cabin crew simulator game, not a passenger game. And to that I kind of argue, yes, that's true, but you've also got to remember, in Unconscious Pilots, as cabin crew, you fly the plane. As cabin crew, you get to buy planes. As cabin crew, you create flights. As cabin crew, you also design the liveries. As cabin crew, you also get to change the seat layouts. As cabin crew, you also get to select the menus. All those things there, cabin crew do not do in real life. So there's arguments there, but, you know, this update to be a passenger completely changes what the whole game is all meant to be about. But what can you do when you land? Well, that's what we're going to find out next. So as you watch all the cabin crew and the workers and all that stuff go around collecting all the trash, you can just sit here right now and you can hand them your own trash. And you're just minding your own business. You're looking out the window right now. You're watching the movies, the TV programs on there. And you're just watching people just doing all the hard work for you. While you just sit back and relax and just get to your destination. The more I think about it, the better it sounds. But I agree. It's a cabin crew simulator game. So now that the plane's landed, the next part of being a passenger comes into it. You can't get out your chair, obviously, until somebody's opened up a door. But obviously, I've got to open up a door right now because this update does not exist. But this is the next big interesting part about this Be a Passenger update that they could implement. So just wait for it to open. Come on, open the doors. It's the longest part you got to wait for right now. So the doors open, which means that you can now jump off your seat like all the other passengers, and you can walk out with your suitcase. Now, obviously, if you checked in a bag, a larger bag, what you would have to do as a passenger is run all the way to the baggage reclaim area, and then we can finally have a reason to use the baggage reclaim area. It's something that we do not use in the game. It's kind of pointless in the game right now, but we can go over there, we can collect our bags, and then maybe we have to end the flight as a passenger by going and checking into a hotel. So you grab your bags, you check into the hotel, speak to the person, request a room. I'll have a premium room, please. Key for 106, which is just here. There we go. And then this is how you end the Be a Passenger. And you just go to sleep like that, and that ends the Be a Passenger. You then technically wake up the next day, and then you can start all over again. It will give you more reason to use stuff that you never use. You never use the kind of hotel. You never use the baggage reclaim area. As a passenger, you would. You would. So what do you guys reckon? I know it's Cabin Crew Simulator, and I'm also on that side where it's a Cabin Crew Simulator game. But there is some stuff in this game that the cabin crew don't do, but we still do it anyway. Be a passenger mode. Now that I've talked about it, now that I've explained it and what you could potentially do, what do you guys think now? Let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.